All right. So what I'm going to discuss in today's session. So let's, for example, I have a visualization like a table. So inside this table, what I'm going to display each category wise, what is the sales amount. Let's take it over here. Take the English port category name, and you have written one measure for the total sales amount. So where is the total sales amount? So this is the measure what we have written. I think this is not the one. Total sales. Yeah, let me try to write down a new measure to give the total sales amount. So how to write down the measure? Click on this key measures table. Click on this new measure. So I'm going to write down this measure name as a total sales amount. Total sale AMT. I'm just writing this name as a total sales amount. So how can you write down this one? Sum of sales amount. Simply you can able to write down total sale amount equals to sum of factor internet sales, and that name is a sales amount. Just simply drag and drop this one. So it is going to display the total sales amount, and let me try to increase the font size. Goes to the values, increase this size of this one. Okay, so this is how we have a accessories, bikes, clothing. So this is the total sales amount. Let me try to browse this one. Sort by total sales amount. Okay, for bikes, accessories, clothing. So these are the three different categories we have. This is the sales amount we have, and the total sales amount it is displaying this one. Now my requirement is I want to get the percentage of the sales amount. Okay, the percentage of the sales amount means generally how will you get the percentage of the sales amount? The percentage of the sales amount is each category sales amount, that is 28,318,144 divided by overall sales amount 29,358,677 into 100. Then it will give you the percentage of the sales for the bikes category among all the sales amount. Again the next one, accessories 700,759 divided by 29,358,677. So this is how you will get the percentage of the sales of the each category. But here you can see, here you have a bikes category 28,318,144 divided. So how can you get this total sales amount on each row wise? We need to get the total sales amount on each row wise, then only you can able to divide these two things. So if you observe whatever the measure we have written, so this you are simply writing sum of fact internet sales amount. This you are, when you are drag and drop into this visualization, when you are drag and drop this into this visualization, what's happening over here? It is going to, when you are drag and drop this into this visualization, it is going to filter each row wise. The sum of sales amount for bikes, the sum of sales amount for accessories, the sum of sales amount for clothing. So this is how each row wise it is going to filtering the data here. Each row wise it is going to filtering of the data over here. So if you are stopping the filtering of each row wise, then it will give you the overall sales amount on the each row. So how to stop when you are calculating sum of sales amount without filtering each row wise? On what column? So this English port category name, I don't want to filter on each row wise when I am calculating the sum of sales amount. For that, let me try to write down a new measure. So that measure name I'm going to give it as a overall sales amount. Simply click on the new measure, then you can go to the overall sales. Simply go over here, overall sales. The overall sales I'm going to make it as a sum of sales amount. The sum of the sales amount what we are going to sum over here. Let me try to calculate the sum of sales amount, but when I am summing this sales amount, each row wise, so we have each row wise, right? Whatever the data we have on the each row wise, I want to stop filtering by category name. So how to stop not to filter on the each row wise? To stop that one, you need to put this column, whichever the row level column we have, right? That column in a function, that is all function. So inside the all function, you have to put this category name column. That means what it will do, it is not going to all. What is the table? So sorry. So what is the syntax for all is, you need to put first the table name, dim product. Yeah. So what is the table first you need to add? That is a category, dim product category table, comma. I'm sorry. Why we have to? Yeah. Dim product category. That is category name. English product category name. You can close one more time. So I'm calculating sum of sales amount. So when I am summing the sales amount, I don't want to filter on each row wise. Okay, on each row wise, I want to filter the data. I don't want to filter the data. So what is the each row value you have? I have English port category name column. So you can use a all function, and you can specify which table the English port category name column belongs. Dim port category name column, that column is coming from which table? Dim product category table. So in all function, if you are specifying this one, then it is not allowing to filter while you are calculating the sum of sales amount. So click enter and drag and drop this measure into the visualization. Multiple table arguments are not allowed in the all function. Sorry, you can remove this table name. Simply you can put only the column whichever you don't want to filter. That's all. Calculate sum of sales amount. Click enter. Right. Now you can drag and drop. See here, bikes. What is the actual sales amount? 28,318,144. What is the overall sales amount? This one. Accessories. This is the sales amount. What is the overall sales? Clothing. This one. What is the overall? So now we can able to divide this total sales amount to measure with overall sales amount, and you can able to get the percentage. Let's go to the key measures. Then again you can write down a new measure. So here percentage of the sales I'm going to write down. So the name you are going to give percentage of the sales. There you can able to write down total sales amount, measure total sales amount measure divided by overall sales into 100. Okay. Already I have written two measures. One measure is giving each row wise, each category wise the sales amount, and another overall sales measure is overall amount it will give you by each row. It is not going to filter. That I am going to multiply with 100. Then let me click enter. Now you can able to drag and drop it. See here, 96.46 percentage of the bikes is the sales in the overall sales. 2.39 percentage is the sales on the accessories. 1.16 is the sales on the clothing. Okay, so this is how we have the sales amount percentage you can able to identify. If you want to display the percentage symbol on this percentage sales, simply go to that measure, and instead of multiplying with 100, simply remove this 100. Okay, click enter, and you can add here the formatting. See, click on this percentage sales, click on this percentage option. So this percentage option is going to displaying of the multiplying with 100, and also you will get the percentage symbol as well. That is formatting symbol. If you want to make currency format also, you can able to do the currency format as well. And also for this overall sales measure, the decimal points 2207 it is coming, right? If you want to change that decimal points, the number, you can able to change that one. See here, if you are making 0, it is not displaying anything. If you are making 2, then 2 decimal points it is going to display it over here. 29,358,677.22 is the sales amount it is displaying. Okay, so this is how we can able to create the sales amount over here, percentage of the sales amount. Okay, now my requirement is I want to display the rank. Okay, let me try to copy this one, goes to the next page. Let me remove this percentage overall sales. Yeah, so let me try to sort this one, sort by total sales amount. So bikes is the top one category, accessory is the top 2, clothing is the top 3. Okay, bikes is the top 1, accessory is the top 2, top 3. How can you provide a rank on this category wise based on the sales amount? First rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank. For that I can able to write down one measure. Simply goes to the new measure. Here I'm going to maintain as a rank val. So what is the function we can use? There is a RANKX function. So on which table you are trying to apply this rank? I'm trying to apply in the category table. Okay. Category table, and what value? The total sales amount. Total sales amount measure already we have written on the total sales amount. Okay. And which order you are trying to make it? The descending order. Let me click enter. RANKX and the dim prod category table, total sales amount. So let me drag and drop that value. See here, it is giving 11111 first rank for everyone. What is the reason? The reason is because of when it is going to give a ranking, it should compare with other values, right? It is not, it is going to filter on each row wise. So it is considering each row as a first rank. I don't want to filter on each row wise. It should compare with others. Then you can put all function. Inside the all function, you can able to put import category table. Now we can see. See, now it is giving ranking. This is the first rank. Bikes is the first rank. Accessory is the second rank. Clothing is the third rank over here. Clothing is the third rank. So this is how we can able to applying the ranks. But here you can see there is one empty category and there is a components category. There is one empty category and there is one components category. Whatever the these two does not have any sales amount here. These two does not have any sales amount over here. When there is no sales amount, I don't want to make a ranking. I want to just make empty. This rank also empty. When there is a sales amount, I want to give the ranking. If there is no sales amount, I don't want to make the ranking. So what we can do in that kind of situations? So in such kind of situations, let's first check if is empty or is blank. So in the is blank function, I'm going to put this total sales amount if is blank total sales amount. If is blank the total sales amount. If this is a blank, then I want to make the rank also blank. Make this blank. Else I want to create a rank over here. Now you can see click enter. Right, see, whichever the categories does not have a sales amount, it is not giving the ranking over here. Okay, and also I'm trying to apply a filter like a, let's select the slicer. Inside the slicer I'm going to add the category name. So here, let's, for example, if I'm selecting accessories, it is displaying only accessories. Bikes, it is displaying only bikes. Clothing. So if you see here, when I'm selecting accessories and clothing, these two categories, the rank should give only in between these two. Like which one is the first rank, which one is the second rank. Okay, which one is the first rank and which one is the second rank. But here it is giving the values whatever you have not selected, right? Which one? Bikes. So it is considering bikes also as the first rank and remaining two are the second and third rank. My requirement is when I am setting those values needs to be compared and giving the ranking based on that. So in such kind of situations, you can go to your rank value function. Instead of all function, you can put all selected function. So what the all selected function will do, this is going to stopping the filter of each row wise, whichever is selected here. Only the values it will consider, selected values only. It will not consider other values. Then it will do the comparison in between these two. See here, click enter. Now it is giving first rank, second rank. If you are selecting bikes, 1, 2, 3 rank. If you are selecting only accessories, it will give you the first rank. If you are selecting bikes also, first and second rank it is giving. So this is how it is performing the ranking over here. Okay, the next requirement is instead of these category names, what I want to do, I want to give you the rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4. So in the slicer, I want to create a rank. If the user is selecting second rank, then it has to display the two ranks whatever we have, first and second. If the user is selecting third rank, it has to display all the three ranks. If user is selecting one, it has to display only first rank. So how can you make a values in a slicer over here? So we don't have that values, right? Let me try to create one simple table. Enter data, rank value, rank number, rank name. 1, 2, 3. You can make it 4 also. Let me make it as a top 1, top 2, top 3, top 4. I'm just creating one table, ranks table. So let's take one slicer. Inside that slicer, you can able to take, goes to the ranks. You can take the rank name. So here when I'm selecting a value, for example, top 2 value I'm selecting, in this slicer it needs to filter only top 1 and top 2. If I'm selecting top 3, it needs to filter top 1 and top 3. So based on the description, that number needs to be filtered on this one. First identify what value you are selecting this one, whether that number is capturing or not. So for that I'm going to write down a simple measure. Go to key measures, create a new measure. How can you get the selected value in the inside this slicer? So let me make it as a rank filter value. So how to get the rank filter value? This you can get by using the max of the rank inside the rank table, rank number. Okay, done. Let me show you whether that value is correctly selecting or not. I'm just taking that for measure into one card visualization. Right. See here, if I'm selecting top 4, it is displaying top 4. If I'm selecting top 2, it is displaying 2. Top 1, 1 is coming. Now my requirement is, if I'm selecting top 1 and top 3, 3 values if I'm selecting, whenever there is a multiple values we have selected, the maximum value I want to take it over here. Out of the selection, I have selected top 1 and top 3. So I want to filter the maximum value, whichever the value we have selected. So that's the reason I have written maximum value, this one. So with this filter, with this value, whatever you are capturing, we need to apply a filter on this rank function. So how to filter the rank value? What is this function? Rank value function. So this you need to filter based on the value what you have selected. So I'm going to filter on this measure based on the value we selected. Let me write down a new measure. Click on new measure. New rank. If the rank value is less than or equals to the value what we selected, rank filter value, then I want to display the rank value. Click enter. Let me drag and drop this one. Okay, let me remove this rank value. And also this total sales amount also you need to filter based on the value you have selected. Let me copy the same thing. I will write down a new measure. Okay, create a new measure over here. New rank sales amount. If rank value is less than or equal to this rank filter value, then I want to display total sales amount. So based on the value it is filtering, the total sales amount will be displaying. Click enter. New rank sales amount. Let me try to drag and drop that one as well. And the older sales amount I am going to remove. Okay. Let me try to sort out this based on the rank value. Yeah, it's in sort in descending order. sorry, sort in ascending order. Okay, so now if I'm selecting top 2, it is displaying top 1 and top 2. If I'm selecting top 3, it is displaying 1, 2, 3. If I'm selecting top 1, it is displaying only top 1 sales amount. Top 4, what it is displaying? All the 1, 2, 3. We don't have fourth rank. If I'm selecting top 1 and top 3, it will display the maximum third rank. All the 1, 2, 3, all the 3 ranks it is going to be displaying over here. So this is one of the important scenario where you can displaying the ranks by using different functions over here. So when I'm calculating this overall sales amount, if you see, we were using the all function, correct? So the moment when you are using the all function on the table, English port category name table, what's happening over here? The overall sales amount is not filtering when you are taking this English port category name, correct? Why it is not filtering the sum of sales amount when all function is English port category name column you are keeping over here? It is not filtering. The reason is because of you specified this English port category name in the all function. So in the dim prod category table, let's for example, if I'm using another column, go to the dim prod category table. If I'm drag and drop this French, these 3 columns we have. See, when I'm using this French prod category name, it is filtering. Let me remove that French. When I'm keeping this only English prod category name, it is not filtering. The reason because inside the all function I have specified English port category name column. Whichever the columns you are keeping in a all function, it is not applying a filter each row wise. Let's for example, in this dim prod category table, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns are there. Out of the 5 columns, the same functionality, whatever this English port category name functionality is there, right? That I want to apply for all other columns apart from the Spanish product category name. Except this Spanish product category name column, I want to apply this feature. Which feature? Not to filter feature, to all other columns except Spanish product. That means when I am drag and drop the Spanish product category name, it needs to be filtered. Apart from the Spanish product category name, any other columns if it is selecting, I don't want to filter. So in such kind of situations, you can put all except function. Inside this all except function, whichever the column you want to apply a filter, that you can able to Spanish. Syntax is first you need to specify table name and which column you want to apply the filter, Spanish product category name. I'm going to calculate sum of sales amount all except in this dim product category table, Spanish product category name. Click enter. See now in this table, apart from the Spanish product category name column, if I'm using Spanish product category name, it is filtering. Okay. Apart from the Spanish product category name, if you are using any column, it will not apply the filter. You can see. Is the sales amount is filtering? No. But if you are using the Spanish port category name, it will filter. See why I have written this here. Except this Spanish port category name, any other columns if you are using, it needs to filter the things over here. Okay, this is called all except, because in this table I have 1 2 3 4 5 columns. Instead of specifying all the 4 columns in the all function, better specify whichever the column you want to exclude in this functionality, then the all functionality will be applicable for all other columns over here. Okay, so the next requirement is I want to find out the percentage of the profit. How to find out a percentage of the profit? So if you want to get a percentage of the profit on any table, let's for example here you can go remove all other columns. Let me take the sales amount, this one, total sales amount, and total product cost. Okay, so this is the total sales amount, this is the total product cost. Now I want to get the profit. The profit you can able to get it easily, this one. Generally if you want to write down this percentage of the profit, you need to write down like this. Goes to the new measure, percentage of the profit. First you need to calculate sum of sales amount divided by sum of product percentage of the profit is sum of fact internet sales amount divided by sum of fact internet sales total product cost. Sorry, this you need to minus sales amount minus product cost. That will give you the profit. This you can divide it by whatever the sales amount you have. So this is the formula we need to write down. Sum of sales minus sum of total product cost divided by total sales amount. This will give you the profit percentage. If you observe here, in this calculation, I'm doing the sum of sales amount 2 times. Right? We are doing the sum of sales amount 2 times over here. Okay? Sum of sales amount minus total product cost divided by sum of sales amount. Why you are doing the same calculation, sum of sales amount 2 times? It's a wasting of the processing time, right? Unnecessarily you are calculating this value. So how to overcome this one? How to stop a calculation not to do multiple times? To stop not to do a calculation more than one time, you can use a concept of variables. What is this variables concept? You can able to store a calculation into one variable that can be using later in this expression. So how to declare a variables? Where I'm going to make it as a total sales equals to sum of sales amount. Sum of sales amount. Next one is where total cost equals to sum of product cost. Percentage of the profit is equals to where a variable total sales amount. I'm calculating the total sales amount and storing inside this variable. The next one is variable total cost equals to sum of total product cost. One more variable. So this variable is for finding the difference, means a profit. You can reuse the variables. Total sales variable minus total cost. Then finally, what you are trying to return? I'm trying to return this profit variable value divided by the total sales here. So in this entire expression, how many times I have calculated the sum of sales amount? Only one time. How many times the sum of the product cost I have done? Only one time. So that value I'm saving in a variable. The total sales variable I used over here, I used over here. So we are avoiding to do the multiple times the calculation of the sales amount. Let me try to enter it over here. Okay, now we can able to drag and drop this. So this profit, if you want to make a percentage, then click on this profit, format it. So it will multiply with 100 and adding the percentage symbol as well. So this is how we can able to 62.60, 40.63, 40.15. So this is how we can able to use the variables concept. The variables concept is using to performing of the things like reusability of the calculated data. The variables can be used to perform the calculation, will be saved inside that in memory, and that can be reused within this whole expression only. A variable value you can able to use only within this expression, within this measure only. You can't use in other measures over here. Only within this measure you can able to do. So final some result you need to return. So whichever the result you want to return, you need to write down the return statement, and inside the return statement you can able to use that variables whatever you have declared and calculated earlier. This is the syntax. To declare a variable you have to use var and variable name. You don't need to specify the type of the data or something. Only the expression you can able to write down it over here. Okay. So two things we discussed today: how to use the variables and how to provide the ranking based on the things what we have done. So I'm requesting all of you, please do a practice of the two scenarios what I have done today. These are very important, even in interview point of view also. They will ask you to how to provide the ranking. So to provide the ranking, we are going to use the rank function. So whatever the RANKX function we have, by using the RANKX function. So what are all the functions we discussed in the today's session is we discussed about the all function, all selected function, all selected function, and we selected about the RANKX function and how to declare a variables and blank function we discussed. So whenever we are writing this one, if you are facing any error messages, then what do you want to do? So instead of failing this report, I want to display some error message. For example, this expression is returning any error, or for example, another like whatever you are writing, if you are receiving any error, then what do you want to do in such kind of situation? If this rank function is this rank value measure is giving a error, so then what is your expectation over there? Or any measure when you are writing, let's for example this total sales amount measure. So when you are when it is throwing some error over here, then what do you want to do? Instead of making instead of let's for example I want to create one measure like let me go create a new measure. The measure name I will give it as a test measure. Test error. What is this? I'm just simply writing 1 divided by 0. Obviously it will throw error. See, it is throwing infinity error. So how to overcome these kind of messages? So let me simply, I can write down if error. If you are receiving any error on this one, then I want to display one denominator as 0 value. Enter. See, I'm just displaying the error message when there is a error. Let's for example, instead of 0, if I'm making 9, let's see. It is displaying the value. When a error in your expression, then you can write some error message over here instead of displaying the error information. You can write your custom messages, custom error messages. Similarly, for this total sales amount also, if something error in this total sales amount, if error, then error in sales amount, something like this. Okay, so this is how you can able to write down the error messages as well, by using if error. If error means if there is error, then only it will do like this. If there is any error, then only it will do like that. Otherwise, it will not. So this is all about the today's session. Let me save this file. So I'm expecting to be practice all these things. Any questions? You can raise your hand. Go ahead.